or something else?
Well, yeah. First of all, it was snowing, so that was pretty tough. Yeah, I remember. I don't have a car yet, so I've been walking to practice, and yeah, a few mornings I didn't think I was going to quite make it in.
Nick Roush.
Is there more pressure to fill in the shoes of a Ray or your big brother?
They're pretty much the same. We all train together, so yeah. In terms of escaping the shadow, I think it's a case of yeah, trying to beat those expectations. And which shoes are bigger? I don't think there's any bigger shoes at the moment, so I'm up for the task, that's for sure.
Where do you benefit from training with those guys and getting input from one another while kicking?
Yeah, difference in perspective. Obviously, older brother played at EKU, smaller college, and then onto the pros. So he's got that experience in big games and at the pro level. And then talking to Max, obviously coming from the same school, just yeah, getting a knowledge on the building and how the stadium operates, and yeah, sort of that local knowledge for my punting.
Larry Vaught.
Just curious, Wilson, when you were trying to make your college choice, who did you depend on more for some information about Kentucky? Your brother or Max? And what did they tell you?
When you're making a decision as big as this, I think you have to sort of go through all channels. Everyone that has a stake in it, I think I asked, and obviously Pro Kicks being a huge help, and they couldn't recommend Kentucky enough. And then yeah, once I got in contact with Max, it was quite an easy choice really. He raves about Lexington as a place and Kentucky as a football team, so it was quite easy to choose.
Josh Moore.
Wilson, who have you kind of been taking directions from up to this point? I know Coach Singleton was going to work with the special teams, and now he's gone. How's that been kind of the chain of command working there right now?
Yeah, old Max thinks he's in charge of the special teams, so he's still barking orders, which makes no sense. But yeah, Matt Sarkis is still hanging around and giving us some direction. But I think collectively as a specialist group, we drive high standards amongst ourselves. So whoever's in charge, I think we're still going to produce a good result.
Nick Roush.
When you make the switch from kicking an Aussie football to an American football, what are the steps to not only changing just the how you do it, but where you kick it and exactly how that goes about?
Yeah, there's a few differences. Yeah, obviously the ball's made for throwing rather than kicking, so that sweet spot and that niceness off the foot is a bit hard to find. But yeah, it just comes through a lot of practice and trying to like remold that kicking action, because obviously we've got the strength as punters because that's what we do, but yeah, just trying to find that sweet spot and sort of drive up through the ball rather than cutting across it, which is what we would do naturally back in Aussie rules.
Larry Vaught.
Wilson, talk to us a little bit about just what your personality is off the field, away from football.
Yeah, I like to smile. Smiling's my favourite, Larry. I can't see your camera, so I don't know who I'm smiling at. Yeah, it's a happy kind of character. I like to think that, I try and bring up everyone around me, and yeah, that's how I would describe myself off the field, as just generally happy.
I'm not very good with technology, so sorry about that.
Yeah, right.
Curtis Birch.
Hey Wilson, I'm wondering, how did you celebrate Chuck Norris's birthday this week?
I did. I practiced a few roundhouse kicks at home, and I'm trying to grow out the beard as well, but that's unsuccessful so far.
Josh Moore.
Wilson, did any of your former colleagues in the burger business, did they send you off anyway special? Did you?
Yeah, they set me up with a brand new burger. They called it the Bangers Berry Burger, and it was everything I'd ever hoped for. So
What comes on a Bangers Berry burger?
it's the lot. So you got your beetroot, your pineapples, barbecue sauce, and then beef, bacon, egg. So it's a real Aussie classic, that one.
What's beetroot?
Beetroot. It's a beet from the ground, and it's been yeah, sort of canned and vinegarized, I guess.
Okay, guys, anything else for Wilson? Okay, Larry?
Wilson, Max spends a lot of time telling us why he thinks him being in the NFL is kind of a long shot and it'll probably never happen. He never ever think that much about it. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you probably heard some things from your brother and you watched him. You think Max is going to be in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so. He has a good work ethic, and yeah, it's well, it is tough, as he says. There is only 32 jobs in the world, and the quality of punters coming through these days is quite phenomenal. And I know Max is a great punter, and in the punting game, there's a lot of luck involved, and hopefully it swings his way come the draft.
Dick Gabriel had one. Go ahead, Dick.
You got me now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you think you'd be able to pull off the trick play that your brother pulled off at EKU? Are you familiar with that?
The punt pass, is that the one you're referring to? Yeah, I was practicing that on Tuesday's practice, so I think it might be added to the playbook. So just hold tight for that one.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is there American kids who transfer because they want to get closer to home and they might be like 2 hours away? You're from quite far away. Could you talk about just the mindset that comes from somebody living on your side of the world when it comes to accepting the travel that it takes to pursue the kind of thing you want to do?
It is obviously different. Moving, it took me 27 odd hours or something to get here with stopovers. But in terms of sort of picking here, it's a case of I want to play in the best level of sport I can, and to go to a SEC school and Kentucky, a program that's really on the rise. It's quite easy to rock up every day and put in the work, and if that means living further away from home, then so be it.
I'm sorry, I have one more. My best friend just moved to Australia for 7 months for a job. He's concerned about getting homesick. Is there anything I can pass along that might help him?
Homesick. I don't know. Well, for me, it's Vegemite and getting the boardies out. But I don't think that's going to help him with American homesickness.
All right,
Thanks.
Larry Vaught.
Wilson, just curious, did you seriously consider any other schools, visit any other schools, and talk with it all before you picked Kentucky?
Sort of through ProKick, they do a lot of that, sort of handle a lot of that. And look, once Kentucky came out, there's no point looking anywhere else because this is where I want to be.